Hi everyone, it's Diane. Welcome back. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Easter season if you celebrate. This is Monday morning for me, and as you can tell, we actually have some of that bright yellow stuff from the sky shining in here, so I apologize in advance for any shadows or glare because just not used to sunshine anymore. So I hope everybody's doing great. We're going to try to get through a video here real quick like a bunny. Haha, get it? Quick like a bunny. Yes, my old girl's resting right now, but that may not last long. And when she wakes up, you know, she needs to know where I'm at. So I may have mentioned in the past that in the last video or so, my nephew's getting married. And I had an idea for a card for him. And of course, I am not the first one to do this technique. I'm not usually the first one to do any technique, but I had in mind what I wanted to do for him. What I didn't know was what I wanted to use to make the card. And so I did a couple of panels ahead of time while I was practicing. And I'm going to show you what I came up with. And then I think I finally did decide on what I hope I did because I need to get it in the mail today. So this was one of my first ones that I did, and this one I embossed. I think I have all my embossing folders still here, and I have a couple of plain ones ready to go. I embossed ahead of time because, as you know, there are so many different types of embossing folders. Here, this one, is this one? Yes. This is Parisian Flourish 3D embossing folder by Stampin' Up. And you know, there are 3D embossing folders, and then I have some of my old ones from the Cuttlebug, which are thinner. So each one of those takes a different setup in your embossing machine, you know, which plates you use. So rather than fiddle around with those all on screen, I embossed some for us to play with and save some time. So I tried this one, and I used Fusion Mineral Paint wax, copper wax, and went across the top of it. And that came out pretty nice. I think I like it. And I laid it on a piece of copper foil. I was trying to layer it up and see how it would look, and very pretty, actually. But not what I was wanting. I already had the picture in my head. That was my problem. Not a problem, just that's what I did. And then this one I did on some Night of Navy, and this is an old Cuttlebug embossing folder. It has little birds on there. I was not happy with this one because too much of my color that I wanted to highlight my embossing with went into the background. And that was using, I think that this is the one that I used. This is Color Burst, but this was liquid, antique gold liquid. And I had put a little bit on a sponge and gone over it, but it just went into the background too much. So we nixed that idea. The liquid paint is just not going to work for what I want for this card. So that was that one. This one I really thought about because I do like it. This was just, I think that's Gorgeous Grape color, and it was with Bouquet of Love. And this was a hybrid embossing folder because it also had a die that would cut the center heart out if you wanted to. Will you stop giving me little pop-up messages? Thank you. And this one, I just left this embossed plain, and then I used some IZINK diamond paint, glitter paint, and used my hand and rubbed the paint over it. What I haven't tried yet is, now that it's sat here, I wanted to see if that came off. No, it's not really. Yay! Okay, so that's pretty. Very pretty. This one, that was Orchid Oasis. And is that this one? This is just another Cuttlebug embossing folder that I have. And yes, when I first started making cards, I used a Cuttlebug, and I used that, I showed it in one of my videos before. It's a little blue oh, there it is. Oh, I still have them. A little textured boutique embossing. This was my very first, Dusty Dusty by IZINK. That's what got me into all the trouble here. Yep. So I embossed that one on the Orchid Oasis, which, if I remember correctly, I had seen is a retiring color. And for this one, I used my white ink, just a white ink, and I'm using a smoothie. Trying to be careful to stay over on the clearer side with my white ink. I think I've destroyed this ink pad. And I like this, but I sort of wanted the white to be a little bolder, and I thought that might happen more on a darker background. So I did one on Night of Navy and used, this may be a familiar embossing folder to you. This was, and believe it or not, Country Floral. I never liked this embossing folder after I got it. I tried it several times and I never liked it until now. This is exactly what I was trying to do. I like my dark background, and I like how the white ink really made my flowers, it's almost dreamy looking to me. So I will, hopefully, when we get to the end of the video, we're going to, oh, that's the one thing I did forget to get. We're going to heat emboss congratulations for the front of this and add my front label, and then I have my message to put on the inside. So in the meantime, put some of these embossing folders out of the way. And I'm going to, oh, that might be a pretty one. Put it in there. I was going to put congratulations, but I might have to use love. I love this font anyway. We used this one at our Valentine's Day workshop. That's why it's still out. But I also used, wherever it went, I know it was an old wood set. Sorry, I meant to have this out. Gone that far. I think we just used it. Alright, well, maybe love is going to be it. I don't know. Well, we'll make a label anyways, and then whether I use that or the congratulations one, we will see. Oh, I touched the cord. Slapped my hand. So anyways, yes, this was my favorite of all of the ones that I tried. So I did do another one of those Country Floral embossing folders on Night of Navy. And then I did this little ferny one on some, what is this? This might be Evening Evergreen. And then on Basic Black, I did the one with the little birds. I really like the birds. And so I thought we would try a couple of these techniques that weren't too bad and see if we can get them to stand out a little bit more. And let me see, I do have some blanks here, some blank card backs that we can always layer on when we're done to see, like, look at that. Right on, I think that's Smoky Slate. I'm getting ahead of myself. Stop it. Oh, so I hope everybody's doing great. I'm glad you came back to stamp with me for a little while here, make a card. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so glad that you stopped by. Let's do the blue one first because I'm going to do that in white again. And I already have blue on my little, I forget what these things were called. I got mine from Lavinia Stamps, and see, I have kind of destroyed my ink pad there. So what I did, I was just dabbing the white ink onto my smoothie. I think they were called smoothies. And then rubbing this over the raised part of my panel. And the smoothie really did work better than some of the other things that I tried. I tried a small makeup brush. I tried the old daubers, the little sponge daubers that we used to first do this with. I wasn't real happy with the outcome. This seemed to work the best for me. So yeah, I thought we'd just play around and like I said, I got to get that card done, but I thought I would show you how I got to that point. And depending on your color then, you can also use your smoothie or your dauber and just go around the edges of your card, your panel. Just hold that up. I don't know if you can see it changing when I put the white ink on it. I hope you can. Yeah, so I think I'm going to have to invest in a new white ink pad here. I've pretty much abused this ever since I had it anyways, I think. A poor thing. White's kind of a tricky color to use, you know. And when this dries, it does tend to lighten up a little bit. I think that's why it looks so much nicer when you use a back or a dark cardstock for your background. And then if there's any part that you want to be a little bit brighter white, you can just go over them again and add a little bit more. So maybe like this one rose right up in the middle, the bigger roses. Yeah, we'll do them a little bit. And that's pretty much what I did. Oh, did I finish going around all the edges? And then I just layered this, trimmed it down, layered it onto a white panel, and then onto a Night of Navy card base. And that's how I got the card. So super simple. I don't know. I just really like the white on the navy. I think it's very effective. So let's set that one aside for a few. Let's try white on the black. I did not do black because it is for a wedding. Not that I've seen black and white weddings and I think they're beautiful, but that's not what I was going for. Just wasn't doing it. So if you celebrate Easter, is this a busy time for you? It is for me. Easter is my favorite holiday, absolute favorite. It's also a reminder to me that it's time for spring cleaning, and so a little bit heavier chores to do in the house. You know, we'll have to start our windows and stuff here pretty soon, especially since the sun's shining in now and I can see how dirty they are. Guess that's one good thing about not having any sunshine. I couldn't really tell. I don't mind if a little bit of the ink gets into the background because then it makes it almost like a glow. But I do want the embossed part of my panel to be the brightest, which is what I'm doing. I'm just trying to lightly add more white to the very top of this. Yeah, I didn't know. I just was trying to think, what else might I use? I originally thought I was going to go for a metallic look. I don't have any metallic ink anymore. So that put the halt on that. And then I started looking around to see what I did have that was metallic, and I have that wax from from Iron Ore. When I was doing some mixed media, I did a couple windows and stuff, and oh, maybe I used it on the canvas panels. There you go. Canvas. That's the word. When I did some mixed media art, and I wax over top of them. Yeah, so that's not too awfully bad with the black on that. I think I could probably smooth it out a little bit more since I do have some in the background. Fade it out, I guess. I did see, I was watching one of my YouTuber crafty things, and you know, when you're watching and it comes up on the side or wherever, depending on what you're watching on, and it says that you might be interested in this video based on what you've recently watched. Someone had done a panel, and they must have used black ink on the embossing folder to emboss a white cardstock, and then gone over the top of their card with their other highlighting ink. But and I thought that was the card was really very pretty, very, very pretty. But I didn't really want to put black ink all over my embossing folders to give that a try. That looks actually very pretty on the gray. I might just leave that on there. And then I have, oh, I hear the dogs moving around, darn it. I have my green. So what I want to try the green with this time, maybe, you know what? I have some other of those diamond paints. These are IZINK, and I've had these for a while. I like this. What is this color? Does it say what color it is? Am I being blind? Anyways, these inks are kind of cool because of the way they're in their container. When you take off the cap, your paint's not dried out. And even if you do have a little bit of dried up ink on the end, you can just squirt it out and throw that bit away, and everything else in the pouch still stays wet. Excuse me. You know, I don't know. I cannot see. I just must be being blind. No, see, this one says black coffee. Well, probably because they're written in French is why I don't know. So let's try this. This looks sort of like a, well, I guess I should close my white ink up. This looks like sort of a, oh, see, I got down inside there. Let me close this before I end up getting glitter in it too. It's not abused enough. And then we'll just go for it, right? It's a piece of paper. Not bad. And so where the glue is getting into the background, I can see where it's drying and can't see it anymore, so that's a good thing. Get that out of the way. And then as we saw on the purple one, that glitter didn't come off after it dries. I just set it aside, and it's been up here for a few days because I was up here at the end of last week trying to figure out what I was going to do for that wedding card. I have one more wedding card that I have to get done, but it's a few weeks away yet, so I still have a little bit of time, and I have an idea for that one too. And I know we were going to use thoughts and prayers in our Stampin' A to Z, but I need my wedding card, so that's what we're doing. Yeah. Alrighty, we'll let that dry a little bit, and then we can trim that down if I have time to get to it, and if not, I'll just show you what it looks like the next time we get together. All right. So anyways, these little diamond IZINK paints are really fun. And you can use a paintbrush, but like I said, I was trying to stay mostly on the top of my embossed image. I didn't do the best job there, but we'll see how it comes out when it dries. Rarely does anything go to waste. And in the meantime, we'll get my nephew's card. Oh, I gotta find the congratulations, that's right. I did, what am I doing now? I'm gonna do blue ink on white cardstock. Blue ink on white cardstock. And we're going to clear emboss over our Night of Navy ink. So, where did I put that stamp set? It couldn't have gone too far. Yes, that was my garbage bucket. Or maybe the one I'm thinking of isn't on a wooden block. Maybe that's my whole problem here. I'm thinking. That's why I'm being real quiet. Sorry. I apologize. I know it's a big congratulations. Is this going to bonk you in the head? Nope. And I should probably get a wipey and get that glitter off of my hand before I get it all over my ink. I think this was still on there from, yeah, kind of got that all messed up. Wow. I have to see, I have a pad of these. I think I need to add a little bit more. Maybe and all. Yeah, I think I do. Oh, it's that glue along the edge. It's keeping my paper from going into the corner of my Stamparatus. That feels better. I didn't feel like my magnet was clicking there. I know. We just used that. Excuse me. Geez, I wish you guys could tell me which stamp I'm looking for. And we'll just use some anti-static powder on this. I'm going to stamp, oh, make sure this is lined up a little bit better. It doesn't have to be straight because I am going to die cut it. And I have a little ink down on my white cardstock. I wasn't real worried about that because I knew I was going to die cut. Now I'm wondering if I should do it this way so I have enough room for the die. Yeah, probably. Oh, heat gun at the ready. I'll have to unplug my little light here for a minute. I have no idea what that's going to do to our lighting. Ooh, I guess that was giving me a little bit of light. We'll put it back. It'll be okay for a minute. I have this one, but it usually makes the screen go like all wavy. I don't know why. Okay. Ah, Night of Navy. I have my clear embossing powder at the ready right beside my Stamparatus here. And so while my ink is wet, I'm going to sprinkle it with clear embossing powder. My blue ink off of there. This isn't very wet. Okay, and then we can get the excess embossing powder off of the little panel. Oh, I wondered where that was. The other magnet. I wasn't going to mention it, but now that it's snapped. Oh, that's what I get for trying to take a shortcut. I should have taken the whole lid off, but, you know. So yesterday we went to, we have a lady in our area who does the egg painting. You know, she does the, I think it's pronounced Pisanki eggs. So we stopped yesterday. There was a Ukrainian festival up at the one art center because she was going to have her eggs there. And I wanted to get one for Easter. And she also had some traditional clothing from Ukraine and Croatia and stuff there. So I was able to get a couple pictures of some of the embroidery that's on the costumes, thinking maybe I can use some of those pictures to maybe recreate a design on some of my stitching that I do. They were so pretty. Okay, gonna get noisy for a minute. Not too noisy, I guess. It might be on the camera though. Make sure this is hot. Can't reach the outlet to turn my light back on. There. Back. Yay. light again. And you can see that the clear embossing powder just leaves it a little bit, I don't know, it adds a little bit of depth to the ink. That font is so pretty. I might just have to use that one anyways. Instead of congratulations, I'll add congratulations on the inside with my message. That'll work, right? Right. Okay, so now we need a long, narrow die to cut that out because I don't want it to take up the entire front of my card. Not that one. Not that one. I have this one that has been on my desk because I don't know what it's out of. And that one's going to work. How about it? And no, it's not out of the stitched rectangles. I don't think. I think I have my stitched rectangles all accounted for. Because this should have 13, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Oh my goodness, it is. It's out of this. How? It's been on my desk, I bet you, for a year. Oh, what a goofball. And I had to have counted those how many times because I figured that's what it was. And then I was thinking, no, it must be out of like one of the Christmas die sets because I know there is a Christmas die from one of the snowman sets that has a long rectangle in it. And I kept thinking that was it. All right. Then I was kind of thinking, do I want to put a ribbon behind this on the front? And do I have my Big Shot? I do. I'll be right back. I have my Big Shot set up to cut over here. Again, it's that thing with the different plates. And so did I just put those dies away without putting this back in there? No wonder I keep having it sit on my desk. What a goofball. So what do you think? Pretty for a wedding? Well, I guess I don't need ribbon behind it because this is going to take up the whole width of my front. And as I said, I don't really want to I don't want to cover up all of my flowers. Probably right about in there, I think. Okay. So I just had some dimensionals here because I will use a couple thin strips. Is that going to work? That'll work. We'll make like a little bridge over the card front since it's embossed. See how this is going to work, and we can add some adhesive to the back. No, I don't think so. I think if anything, I need to just add more of this and make it even the whole way across. Oh, so, anywho. I don't know why I'm cutting these in skinny strips, but I am. I'm just using up the edge of what was on one of my sheets of dimensionals. I guess just to use them up. All right. Other than the Egg Festival, not too much exciting. We haven't really gone a whole lot of places. I met the girls for dinner the one evening. I did take an infant and child CPR class for friends and families. It's not, you don't get certified, but it's for knowing what to do in the case of an emergency. And I figured since I'm working around 13 7-year-olds at religious ed, it might be a handy refresher for me. So we did that. And what else? Seemed like it was real busy, but I don't know that I went anywhere fancy or did anything fun. So this is how my wedding card has turned out. I will add my personal message on the inside. And then these are the couple extras that we've done. This one, I don't know. I think I have too much on there. I probably was a little heavy-handed with the glitter. We'll see. This one I do love. I think it's beautiful. I'm really happy with the birds. I think on that smoky slate background, that's pretty. And this one is a little bit paler, but that's also pretty. This one I was a little more light-handed, I think, with the silver glitter or the white glitter, and I think it's prettier. This one, not too happy with. I'll think of something. And then this one was what I used the copper, the mineral wax by Fusion on. And I think that one turned out pretty too. But all in all, I think I'm happiest with my card design that we're going to use for the wedding. So use some of your embossing folders, you know, maybe bring them back to life if you haven't used them for a while. And send somebody a card. If I don't get back on here before the weekend, I wish you all a blessed Easter, and I will see you as soon as I'm able to get back here. Take care, everybody. Bye.